Hi, folks. Rick Berube here once again on this lovely Tuesday. What is today, the 5th? Whatever it is. It's something in August 2020. I know that. I heard today that there's a new phrase on social media that says it went all 2020. It's going to be a new thing. Like it went crazy when 2020. But fortunately for us today, we have a tremendous interview. We have Laurie Reese from the Yorba Linda office. Welcome, Laurie.
Thank you.
And just so you guys know, she was Rookie of the Year last year in California, which is, right now about 600, 700 agents. So great job. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So take a moment, and we were talking before, and I think you're going to see that Laurie has all kinds of energy, which I love. So tell them a little about yourself, how long you've been doing this, and Rookie of the Year, so only a little over a year. But what did you do before real estate? Give them a little insight of your life, please.
You got it. Okay, so I was a very busy project manager up until 2002, had my firstborn, decided to stay home, which to the shock of my husband, left my career and decided to become a stay-at-home mom. I then, 2005, had a set of twins and did everything from PTA president to Moms Club president. And in the meantime, over the 17 years that I was home, I was purchasing some real estate.
Nice.
Bought some rentals, bought another home, and I started to get with friends, and they said, man, you should really do that for a living. And so once my oldest one got his driver's license, I thought, okay, it's time. It's time for me to do something a little bit different than the stay-at-home thing. So I decided to get my license. Met with Barb Arneal with Tarbell, started with Tarbell at the very end of 2018, got my license in 2019, and so grateful for my sphere because I was able to get 2 listings by May, 2 homes over $1 million in May. Got acquired by Berkshire Hathaway, did a few more transactions, and yeah, like you said, I was Rookie of the Year, which was really great because I really worked my tail off in 2019 to prove to myself that I could do this, that I could go from being a stay-at-home mom to being a real estate agent and a successful one. And in my eyes, that year was just a really big success for me. Fast forward now to 2020. The year started off really, really great, really positive. And then as you all know, with COVID-19 in March, I closed a transaction March 13th with my buyers. And I was telling Rick, and then I cried for about a week because I thought, what the heck am I going to do now? This is all shut down. So gave myself a week to, have my
pity party.
Story. Yeah, have my pity party and, wonder, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then, you have that face to face with yourself saying, what are you going to do? Get your butt up and do something different. You're going to have to change the way you do things. You've done this before. You can do it again. So just started acclimating, becoming that chameleon, as everybody says, right? Making the change, doing things a little bit differently, no more door to door. I'm still touching base with my sphere and making sure that they knew that I'm still an agent. I know you think the world has fallen apart, but I'm still here and I'm still selling homes. And what was really interesting is I started doing on my Facebook business page, I stepped out of my comfort zone and started doing videos and started telling everybody about the market. And that was huge. Not writing a paragraph on my Facebook business page, but putting my face out there. I think they really felt that. Once I was, alarming everybody, hey, interest rates are low. I got a ton of buyers. And like I was telling Rick, the buyers are now on backup, unfortunately, in Orange County, where I live. Inventory is extremely low. It's the lowest that it's been since March in 2013. So we're having a little bit of a tough time getting those buyers in. I've got some disappointed buyers because they're coming up against 5 to 8 offers. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. My goal is back to what my goal was in January because I feel like I can do it. It's going to be very tough.
Yeah.
But I think with some hard work, I'm going to get it done.
Yeah, it's so awesome, and I love the energy and the enthusiasm, and I don't know. And now listen, Laurie, I think you're gonna like this, but I'm still haven't got our marketing department to use this line, but now that it's over a year since the Tarbell acquisition, when my first tour by talking to all the Tarbell offices was, hey, Tarbell was swell, but now we slay with Cabernet, baby.
Love it. Love it.
Gordon hates when I say that, by the way.
The transition has been fantastic. I mean, I will say that our entire office was so excited to come. So that the transition was never a difficult thing. Like I said, it actually gave me more tools to use and a little bit more, maybe a little bit more modern tools to use as well. So the transition has been fantastic.
Yeah, no, it was such a great fit. Because I remember being at Mike Ferry and coaching a couple Tarbell agents when I first started coaching in 1995. And, so Tarbell is one of those names that it was a unique name that, Berkshire Hathaway is a national franchise, but Tarbell was really big in the market that you guys were in. So, yeah, it's been great. Congratulations on last year being Rookie of the Year because you're in. That's a tough job to do. So congratulations. Now I think everybody out there can tell that you have high energy, enthusiasm. You may even have a few gifts like OCD, ADHD, like me. I have
got them all. I got them all. That's for sure. I am not a sit still person. I can tell also with my buyers on these counter offers that we're doing and competitive offers. It hurts me when we don't win it. So I've got that competitive streak in me as well that I really want to do the best for my clients. And I always tell them that I am here to work really hard for you. And I really, truly believe that that's what I'm in there to do. And I think they feel that too. So that's been huge. Wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's huge, and I can tell that you mean it when you say it too. And just tell them, because a lot of people think, well, Rookie of the Year, and she's young, but you're married, you have 3 kids. Tell them a little about that too.
I'm not young. I'm 45 years old, and I had knee surgery last year.
Wait a minute, I'm 55, so you have to be young because I am not old.
Yeah. But I think it's just determination. I will say, this industry, what's been hard, I think the hardest thing for me with this industry is there is no consistency necessarily, but I'm consistent, if that makes sense.
No,
like I learned that last year when I was, when my two luxury homes were on the market, and man, they were sitting, and I was wondering like, whoa, what can I do? What can I do different? What can I do for these people? And then all of a sudden within a week, they both got offers. I mean, it's just like I said, it's a little bit unpredictable how stuff like that is going to go. So I would say that was probably the hardest thing for me personally to overcome is you don't know when it's going to come. You don't know what's going to happen. You just got to be as educated and as knowledgeable as you possibly can. Because then I can go to bed every night knowing that I did my best with as much information as I know in my head. So I study the market. I do that. I'm religious about every single day. I wake up, I go straight to my computer. I go straight to my MLS. I look at what's happening in my area. For my buyers, I have preset things that I'm looking for them every single morning. And then I'm shooting off an email to them every morning saying, hey, look at this. Or maybe I'll even go outside their area and say, hey, I know this isn't exactly what you're looking for, but I want you to have an idea of this is what's happening in this city, or this home looks a lot like what you like. It's a little bit out of your city you're looking at, but maybe you're willing to make that, that change because you want that home. Because like I said, in Orange County, we are struggling with inventory. So it's been very difficult on that end of it.
Yeah, one of the things that I used to do when the market was this tight, when I was selling, was I would say to the buyer, okay, so I obviously keep doing what you're doing and you're looking and you're doing all, and then I would say to them, if you could pick a neighborhood or 2 or 3, where would they be? And then I would just call that whole neighborhood. Now, I would go door knocking, but you can't do that in California right now. But you can call them, hey, it's a hot buyer script. It's in the book of everything. We just sold a home in your neighborhood, and homes are selling off the shelves. By the way, if we sold a home and we could have sold 3 others we have 3 people that are looking for a home just like yours. How about you? Have you thought about making a move? So
yeah, that's correct. You know what I did? So that's interesting that you say that. I did do that. I actually have a luxury client that's sitting on this sideline, and they were looking, they were able to narrow down exactly what neighborhood they wanted to be in, which made my job so much easier. So I sent actually a letter to each and every one of those homeowners, a personal letter to each and every one of them with a little bit of information about their home, because I obviously can obtain that through tax records and stuff like that, and sent that. And I actually did have one home contact me and say, we are kind of thinking about possibly listing our home. And so it does help to do that for sure. I've done that for multiple clients, but that one was really nice because they figured out their neighborhood. And when you have that, man, is your job easy because they know exactly where they want to live.
Yeah. No, that's great. No, it's like I just moved 4 or 5 years ago. I did the same thing. I knew, I waited for the house to come on, went over and got it. And,
right.
Once you know, so that's great when your buyers are that specific. Okay, so let's go into this. So you're Rookie of the Year last year. Tell people, how do you get your business? And I know you work incredibly good with your buyers. You did some listings. So how did you go about getting business last year?
Okay, so I am really fortunate that I was as busy as I was when I was home. So because I was a part of so many different nonprofits, my kids' school, my sphere is huge. So everything I have gotten to this day has either been from my personal sphere or from a referral of my sphere. So that's that. Every business transaction I've done, that has been it so far. So, but I'm not just relying on that as my crutch. So what I do is I do use deluxe marketing, and I do every couple of months send out flyers to neighborhoods that either my clients are looking into purchasing or kind of the area in which I live. And I kind of send out the standard one, which is, what is your home's worth? And then that flyer goes out, and then that flyer then tells me when those people are punching in and looking at their numbers. So that's how I get something outside of my sphere right now. I also do go after expired listings, because the way I look at it is those people want to sell their home. Something went wrong. I don't know what it is. So I generally send out, information to them in regards to their home and maybe what happened. And then I always ask people to follow me on Facebook, because like I said, I am constantly on that. Every single day I post something to my business Facebook page, 1 video a week with the market, because nobody wants to read 6 paragraphs of the market. So if you do it in a 2-minute video, you can get a lot of information across to people. And then I use the rest of the week to fill it in with pretty homes, pretty things, pretty homes, ideas for people to use before and after photos, and maybe a funny one here and there, just to kind of keep my face constantly in front of them. But my sphere is my biggest. They're my biggest fans, and I've been lucky that way.
Yeah, well, especially with the incredible service you give, and you keep them informed about what's going on in the market and all that too. That's an incredible way. But now, you mentioned to me before we started recording here, you said something about that social media you've kind of amped it up in the last few months with the social media, haven't you?
For certain I have. Yeah, I have, because I feel like I do love to go out to people and talk to them. And I love door knocking. That's my thing. I'm very comfortable with that. But you can't do that right now.
Yeah.
So I had to find some other resource I could use. And I know everybody was home. And I know everybody was on social media probably way more than they should be. So this gave me an opportunity. And again, I'm fighting off the demons of the market is crap, the world is crap, and that's hard, because I wanted to bring positive media to people, because I could see what it was doing, even within my family and my friends, what negative stuff they were getting out there. So I wanted it to also bring some type of positivity to their biggest investment that they have, that, hey, it's not all gone to crap. There's a good market out there. It's different, but it's not a bad market. It's just a different market. So the social media was my way of getting a big audience and being able to get the information out there to them.
Yeah, like I was telling you earlier, I had a gentleman come to my house. My wife sent him over, and he for some shelves. We just had some work done. And as soon as he figured out what I did for work, because we were talking, he goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I go, "Yeah, sorry for." He goes, "Well, prices going down, sales go." I go, "Oh, you watch CNN, don't you?" He smiled. "Yeah, I do, as a matter of fact." I go, "I can tell." No, that's not what's happening. And I gave him the numbers, like you just mentioned. In Nevada, we have 25 homes, almost 2,500 homes a week that come on the market, 1,100 and something go into contract. He's like, "Really?" I go, "Yeah, the news isn't really accurate anymore. Newsflash. Whoop, whoop." So, right. but that's what makes prospecting, especially 4 months before an election, where depending on who you listen to, one's far left, one's far right. They all want their guy at this point to be elected. So it's just crazy. But That being said, when you call people and you say, I have a buyer, or we just sold, or I'm looking for, or oh, the market's incredible, and you post that stuff on social media, it's like you're a breath of fresh air and you're actually giving them the truth, a whole new concept.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And they'll remember you. I mean, you know, it might come up and they'll be like, oh, it's Laurie Reese at Berkshire Hathaway again. But you know what? I think they'll always remember that, you know,
Yeah.
when they need it, when they don't need, you know, they don't need you till they need you.
That's the key right there. You just said it.
Yes.
You know, like I was just speaking downstairs to our St. Rose office, and I told them, you know, you have to act like a sales. I didn't say obnoxious, but a salesperson. Because when they go, oh my God, now we're selling our home. Hey, where's Laurie? Because you've kept them informed, you've prospected them, you've checked in, you're current with your social media. You know, if you don't have a social media presence today, what do you think sellers do? Well, we're thinking about using Laurie or Dave. And they go look at Dave, and Dave has no social media. They think you're a dinosaur, and they're not going to use you. They go to yours, and boom. And not only that, you got the Berkshire Hathaway name, which is incredibly helpful.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I even did Facebook does something interesting. For $20, you can boost a post.
Yeah.
And I think they boosted it to something like 7,000 people. Yeah. So you can do that once in a while. I mean, that's the other thing is, I know if anybody's starting, there's inexpensive ways to get your name out there.
Yeah,
for sure.
And so. Facebook, I tell people all the time. Now, you know, I've been doing this for 35 years, but I've only done social media now for 6, and really in the last 4. Everything I do, I've done in the last 4 years when it comes to social media, and that was a brand new one for me. And I went in kicking and screaming. I was the old, oh, it's not me. It's so ridiculous. I can't even tell you what I called Facebook when it first came out because it's an HR violation. I didn't like it, didn't want anything to do with it. But now, like you just said, I'm posting every day and doing stuff, and people respond. I even have a YouTube channel now. So yes, it's all good stuff.
Exactly. I mean, there's lots of outlets. Instagram. I mean, for me, Facebook is Facebook and my website are about all I can manage if I want to, you know, actually get out there and see people. So,
good.
But it's a great tool. And like I said, you have to right now. You just have to be comfortable with change and comfortable with, you know, a new outlet because it changes all the time.
Such a great point, Laurie. Such a great point. Which brings me to my favorite question when I do interviews. Okay, so now that you've done other things other than just real estate. So, if you could give them the 3 best pieces of advice, okay, to be successful in this business, what would they be?
Number 1, be knowledgeable. Because that is for sure. That's for certain. When somebody says or sees you and knows you're in real estate, how's the market is, I mean, it's almost laughable how many times you'll hear that as a real estate agent. It's on the daily, actually. I hear how's the market. So, you know, there's so many resources out there that you can watch on Facebook and everything. So really understand the market. I think that's number 1. Number 2, like I said, is don't be too hard on yourself. You know, I was just like, am I doing everything right? Am I doing all I can do? Because like I said, it's not consistent. So it's very difficult to measure. I would say you can measure easily on a yearly basis. It's very difficult to measure on a weekly basis as far as what comes back to you. Now, as far as what output you put, you can definitely measure that. But as far as what comes back, I think you have to be pretty easy on yourself because I think it's kind of it comes in roller coasters, you know, at least that's been my experience. And then third is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to go out there and tell people that you're a real estate agent. Don't be, you know, afraid that you're selling something because like I said, when they need you, they're going to need you. So, you know, always keep your name out there and what you're doing. Because I know in Orange County, every 5th house has a real estate agent living there. I actually have done a transaction for a real estate agent because he said, I would rather you do the transaction for me than myself. So there's lots of agents out there that got their license or were maybe hoping to hit it big or didn't think it was that much work. And it is. If you're a good agent, it's a lot of work, but it's so worth it.
Yeah, no, those are 3 awesome pieces of advice. And be knowledgeable. Like, you know, when you meet somebody, even if it's at an open house, over the phone, if they think they know more than you, why would they use you? Right?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't be tough on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. As a matter of fact, you know, if you just, our VAC 2.0, have you checked that out yet?
Oh yeah, I'm all about it.
Good. If you just follow, like, you know, like you could actually use that for your listing presentation. You could use that for your social media. If you use that as a starting point, it'll be incredibly helpful, especially for the newer person.
Right. And anybody's welcome to, I always tell everybody, I'm not greedy with what I have and what I know. So I always say, go to my Facebook page and use some of that stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me at all. If you're successful because of it, wonderful.
Right.
Happy to share it.
Yeah. And there's always different people looking at it and stuff anyway. So, the key with social media, I have figured out there's 2 words. First word is content. Like you just said, Laurie, put good content on there. Okay, and keep updating it. The second word is document. Show them what you're actually doing.
Exactly.
Some of my favorite videos are the ones when people like, okay, I sold you a house and they're excited. You turn the camera. Hey, do a little testimonial about your experience, right? Those are incredible. Those are great. Have you done any of those?
Right. Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Cool. All right. And then we're just about 20 minutes here. Yeah, perfect. Exactly 20. So any final words of wisdom you want to leave these wonderful people that are watching you right now?
Just know that I don't know how the market is where you're at. Like I said, I'm in Orange County, and I was telling Rick, it's a little bit of me chasing my tail right now. It's a lot of work to get, a little bit done just because of how the market is right now. So I would just say, stay positive, stay working, stay present through this whole thing. I know that we still have some more battles through this year, I would say, with, we have the election year, and then right after that, we're going to have the holiday. So that's, normally the slower time for real estate. So just stay at it. And I'm really, really thinking that 2021 is going to be something else. I'm loading my cannon is what I say. I'm really thinking, I think 2020 was supposed to be it.
Yes.
And then, crap happens. So
2020 was supposed to be the year to make more money, but 2021, not only, and I think 2021 was going to be incredible too, but now we have a backlog. It's like a bottleneck.
Correct.
Because right now, what's making the market incredible, and I think you know this because you're out there every day, is, that the people that absolutely have to or are not afraid of the virus are out there. But can you imagine when, we have a vaccine and things lighten up and people feel more safe? And, let's face it, it's an incredibly crazy thing. And my heart goes out to the families that lost loved ones. And at the same time,
Absolutely.
Can you imagine what's going to happen with the market when this thing gets back to somewhat normal? It's actually going to be pretty incredible. And I think it's going to create almost like a perfect storm situation where people are going to move, now that I'm going to be working out of my house more, maybe I want the extra wing for my office or a casita, or, I've always wanted to do this, but the interest rates are less than 3. Maybe I should just buy a new place. It's going to create all kinds of movement. And I think, especially there's already a decent amount of people moving from California to Nevada and Arizona, or even the desert of California. And I think you're going to see an increase in that because, if I'm a baby, think about this. I'm a baby boomer in California, Orange County or Los Angeles County or San Diego, and I've owned my house for 30 years. I don't owe anything, and it's worth $900,000. And I can move to somewhere and have larger house for half the money and less cost to live. So you're going to see a lot of movement for a lot of different reasons, I think. I
totally agree.
Yeah.
Yep. I totally agree with you. I think 2021 is going to be busy. That doesn't mean get complacent and lazy now, though.
No.
That means really get your face out in front of people right now.
Yeah, because Laurie, everything you just said, if you said load the cannon, what I hear is have a pipeline of people thinking of buying or selling, especially hopefully selling. So you have a backlog of listings. Because let's face it, the market that we're in the market that we could be heading into, which I believe we are heading into, it's a great market if you have listings. It's not as fun for everything you just mentioned, Laurie, about, chasing your tail when you're only working with buyers, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and you're putting up, like I said, very competitive offers. I was telling Rick we had a home listed for $875,000 here in Orange County, and the offers were at $925,000, 7 deep. 925, 75,000. So, it's something else.
And sometimes they eliminate the financing contingency or the appraisal or the home inspection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you imagine that? So, it's starting to happen in Vegas and Arizona too now.
Yeah, I believe it. It has to. Yeah.
All right. Well, Laurie, thank you very much for taking out 25 minutes with us this morning. We really appreciate it. Congratulations on last year. And the crowd goes crazy. Woo! Thank you very much. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you very much, Laurie. Appreciate it.
Bye. Thanks.
Thank you.